Good morning and welcome to another video. This time we're camping. It's the first morning here. We actually got here yesterday. So let's get up, get cracking and get the day started. First job of the day, get the kettle on and get a coffee on the go. This is the woodland that we're in. If you listen carefully, the woodpeckers go quiet when you're listening for them. Oh, there we go. You hear the woodpeckers? Sounds like there's one up that way, one over there, and I think there's one down that way as well somewhere. As you start to get a flat spot, you'll also get a corner, so just twist the stick a little bit so you get the corner. The secret with feather sticks is to keep going until your neck there is really, really thin, because you've got your tinder. And the thin neck also gives you your kindling. There you go. Feather sticks. And any of the curls that do snap off while you're making the feather sticks, just collect them up. Pile them on top of the feather sticks when you're lighting the fire, and they'll work just as well. Now if you see this stick that we've cut, the outside's actually quite damp, but if we batten through it, in the middle there, it should actually be quite dry. The inside there is absolutely bone dry. And if it snaps, it doesn't matter, you can still use it. So Donna's just preparing some, or doing the early preparation for dinner tonight. So what is it you're making there?
Well, it's a brine for the leg of lamb. I'm going to just let that mix together a little bit, and then I'll just soak the leg of lamb, well, as much of it as I can get in the bowl, in the brine for a little while, and then hopefully once the fire's built up, burnt down enough to cook on, it should be ready to go.
Okie dokie. This spice set here that Donna's using is a set we got on Temu. It's a canvas case. It folds up like that. Keeps all your spices safe and out of the way. And then you can open it out and you've got 9 little glass bottles in there you can put your spices in. A really handy little bit of kit. You can also, it's got eyelets in it, so you can also hang it up. Well, yeah, really useful little bit of kit, that. Another use for an axe. If you're sawing wood, sink your axe into the top of your chopping block and you can push your wood up against it to hold it a little bit more secure while you're sawing it. Okay, so let's get this lit. Not going to do anything fancy, just going to use a lighter. I'll get those feather sticks going. The thin bits that we split. Hopefully that should be nice and dry inside. I've built that as a teepee. That should draw the heat through a lot quicker. And hopefully we'll get the fire going nice and quickly. These sticks aren't quite as dry, but hopefully by the time those burn down, those will be dry enough to burn. Once that starts going, we should have a nice little bed of coals. We can get some bigger logs on. Now this is a fire bellows, and it's basically like a telescopic aerial. You just pull that out, so that gives you a nice long tube to blow in and actually get right into the fire. So you can get some air in there and help it along. And if you don't have a fire bellows, another little trick, if you put your fingers together like that and blow through the little hole, that also works quite well as well. Okay, so we've got us a nice little fire going now. So we can let that build up into a bed of coals and we're ready to cook on. Now, if you're moving little bits of wood in the fire, always be careful, because if you see there, that doesn't look burnt, does it? But look on the back. So if you reach round looking what you think is a unburnt piece, you might be in for a bit of a painful shock. And once you've got your fire going and you've got your bed of embers, you can then start putting wood lengthways across the top of the fire like that, and that'll make your fuel last longer. Won't burn through as quick. Now this is a fire grill. It folds flat and it's absolutely ideal for getting the frying pan and that on the fire. Or the Dutch oven, or the kettle, or any other cooking implement for that matter. But, yeah, really useful bit of kit, these. Okay, so Don's got bacon and sausage on the go there. Kettle's over the fire for a brew in a bit. And in that we have some bread, which hopefully will be starting to rise. So with a bit of luck we should just have some camp bread later on. And hopefully this won't take too long to cook and we can have some breakfast. Where's your ears? Put your ears up. Where's your ears? There they are. Now here is a prime example of why you look up to see what's above you when you're looking for somewhere to set up camp. Imagine that falling on your tent or your tarp. That would not put you in a good mood. Firewood collection, Morgan style. If you want to get firewood quickly and easily, if you can find partially rotten old branches, a lot easier doing it that way than spending half an hour sawing them. And another quick tip for you if you're using an axe on a chopping block. We've got this chopping block here, and this is the walkway in and out of sight here. So a lot of people just leave their axe sat on the top of the log. But anybody walking in, if you catch that, fall over it, you can knock it off and catch the leg with it. But if you stick it at the back, there's no way you're going to catch it as you walk past it. So that's another quick and easy safety idea to think of. But obviously when you've actually finished using your axe, it's okay to stick it down like that for a couple of minutes, but when you finish with it, put the mask back on and put it away. That way it's not going to go rusty if you forget it and leave it there. Another thing that would be handy to remember when you're using your axe is the mask. Either put it securely in your pocket so you're not going to lose it, or just tuck it through the belt and clip it on your belt, then you're not going to lose it. These are the brown, the leaflet on the floor's brown. You drop them, they can be difficult to find. So don't make the mistake that I've already made once today. Just keep it safe or you know where it is before you actually start using your axe. So this is the leg of lamb that Donna was preparing earlier. That's roasting slowly over the fire. It's been on there for probably about 3 or 4 hours now. It's a slow process cooking things like this over a fire. Just slow and steady. As you can see, it's not over the flames. It's to the side of them. So it's getting the heat, but it's not getting burnt by the flames. I mean, it is a little bit at the bottom there, but hopefully that'll just cut off. We'll see how that goes in a bit. And she's got a pan underneath there to just catch any drips off it. And on this side, we've just got the other half of a chicken that we did in the Dutch oven yesterday. Just put it in the Dutch oven with some veggies and potatoes and some water, and made a chicken stew.
We used stock.
And we used some stock, I've just been informed.
This wasn't just water.
It wasn't just water, it was stock as well.
And
so
spices.
And spices.
Potatoes and carrots.
No, I said potatoes and veg. Was there anything else in there I need to mention?
Your brains are there.
Apparently my brains were in there, so yeah, it wasn't a very substantial stew. But yeah, these are over the fire, to the sides of the flame, not over the top. So hopefully later on we should have some nice roast lamb, and tomorrow we'll be able to have some cold chicken. Okay, so we've reverted to plan B with the lamb. It was cooking very, very slowly, hung up above the fire. We did try putting it over the fire and it charcoaled. So it's now on the grill, and we're just going to barbecue it slowly at the side and get it a lot closer to the heat there. But it is starting to look quite good. And as for the chicken, just look at that. That is looking amazing. So hopefully we won't starve tonight after all. So just pop back to the car to fill the water container up. And I'll go back through this a little bit more later on. But this is a Ridge Monkey water carrier, and because of the big fill cap there, it's dead easy to fill it up out of the big water container. I brought these 2 bottles up as well, so I'll use the tap on the Ridge Monkey container, because those will be easier to fill with that, and then I can just top the Ridge Monkey up again from the big container. Update on food. This is coming along quite well. I would say the chicken's definitely done. So I'm going to get that out of the way, but because we have a young lurch that keeps appearing and eating everything in sight, I'm going to put it, hopefully, I'm not convinced, but hopefully, where she won't reach it.
She will.
So we've hung it up there. Well, she might reach it, but hopefully not, and hopefully we'll cop her before she does anyway, so but we can leave it there until it cools down, and then we can put it in a cooler bag for tomorrow. How are we looking?
A little longer yet.
Do you think we could get the fire going and just leave it long enough for the next camp?
I think so.
Yeah, this lamb is taking a lot longer than expected. We started at about 12 o'clock. Was it 12 o'clock? Yeah, 12 o'clock. And it's now, what time is it? 7:30? No, 10 to 7. It's now 10 to 7. So this has been cooking since, well, for about 7 hours now. Not the quickest meal to cook. But I think the sun is now going down. So I think it's time to get a little bit of light going. I've got a washing up bowl, so a little bit of washing up liquid on the plate, a little squirt of hot water from the kettle, a bit of a scrub, zip the water out. Rinse with a bit more hot water. That's the plate washed. Is it done?
I believe so. Now, a lot of people like their lamb slightly pink, but I know we don't.
No,
we
definitely
like it
not. I like my food cooked.
I'm hoping that it hasn't dried out too much. I've certainly been basting it enough all afternoon, so I'm hoping it's not as dry as an old piece of dried lamb. Try that.
Sorry if I just dazzled you there, but I don't know if you can see me at all in this camera, especially while I'm looking away with the head torch on, but that is bloody good. That is amazing.
You alright? Oh,
that is really, really good. Took a long time to cook, but boy is it good.
I don't suppose you could bring the light back, could you?
Delightful.
I'm not very good at carving. tend to do the cooking and then just hack it to bits at the end. So.
Okay, so we're snuggling down for sleep now, and because that paraffin heater isn't really suitable to be left running all night in here, and it is still a bit cold in March, I just thought I'd show you mine and Maverick's sleep system for chilly nights. So here we've got a wool blanket. Underneath that we've got Mav's sleeping bag. Underneath that we've got Mav, fast asleep in his fleecy pyjamas. And then there's my sleeping bag. We're on the camp bed. I've got one leg that side of him, one leg this side of him. He's actually got his head on my foot at the moment. So his sleeping bag goes over him. And the wool blanket goes over the pair of us. His sleeping bag goes over part of me as well. And then we have the wool blanket over the top. That wool blanket actually goes on right underneath us. Can't see it. Ah, there it is. There it is. So we've got the wool blanket there, and then it comes underneath us and folds over the top. So just to stop the cold coming through the camp bed, we've got a insulated sleep mat there. So that stops the cold coming through the camp bed. Then we've got the blanket, sleeping bag. Mav lies on top of my sleeping bag under his own. Tucked in between my legs. I'm also wearing fleecy pyjamas and a woolly hat. Catch you in the morning. Night night.
God help you in winter.
I ain't going in winter. I'm not as daft as I look. Let's face it, nobody can be that daft.
You are daft. You married me.
Well, yeah, but I'm not as daft as I look. So, night night all. Night night, darling. Sweet dreams.
Night night.
I would say good night to Mav, but after all the chasing around the woods today, he's already flat out. So, night night. Catch you in the morning. Bye for now.
Night night.
One thing about camping in a woodland in a tent is you can't be too bothered about creepy crawlies and flies, because you will get them. Now, one thing which is pretty darn useful is one of these little lanterns with the bug zapper on. So the blue bit up there is the bug zapper. There's a few in there, as you can see, and there you've got the actual light, which isn't actually flickering, it's just with the foam with it being LED. So one of those is extremely useful for keeping the insects down, especially the flying insects in your tent.